let's do the momentary switch for it. It's gonna be this hole on the side of the Y carriage there. Where's our switch for it? Here it is. We're just gonna go through here. The polarized housing for this we're gonna have to cut also, because we're gonna have to feed that through the wire. We'll just reconnect it later. And we need the nut, the only nut that was left here. Here it is. Just gonna put it in position there. So this is what we have so far. There's the switch. See the ball bearings. It's getting heavy now. Now, let's do the 440 screw for the push button. For this little tab I explained earlier in the video. There's going to be 440 standard nuts. And what is this? I'm not sure. There's going to be two different sizes. Just a long 440 screw. It's the only one that's in the kit. I believe it's 1 1/4 inches. So what we're going to do first, we're going to put one standard nut in. About, say, halfway in. Just like this. We're going to push it from the front side in like that. And then use the other 440 nut to hold the screw in place. And we're just going to tighten that. So this way we could actually adjust when we want the Y bed to stop at home. And it looks like this. Let me see if I can show you from the back. That'd be easier. Looks like that. So that way, when it comes down, it'll push that button there. The next thing to do is the heating pad for the bed. Let's put the Y belt in actually. Okay, it's actually going to go through this way first, kind of bend it here. Put it through like this, bring it back this way, wrap it around the pulley, bring it back this way, bring it closer so and just pull this one to give it a little help to go through. And I do not have enough slack. Come on. Now let's just bring it back this way. So how could I show you guys this? So basically, you want the teeth to be facing inside of the pulley, of course. It's basically going like this, wrapped around like that. Like this. Kind of like, not a pretzel shape, but... Oh, if you guys have problem, I'll take a picture of it. But it's pretty obvious how to do it. And I'm just gonna do this. It's one side. I'll show you how it's locked also. And that's the other side. It's tight enough. Not tight enough. Maybe one more tooth in. Alright, let's try to grab that one there. Got it. Show you the bottom view again. Everything looks pretty good. Actually, I'm going to bring the belt, just push it down on the side here, down a little bit. Looks like it's rubbing against the top plate a little bit. Alright, and this is what it looks like. I'm probably going to trim this edge off over here. This is one side of the belt. You see what I just did there? Just trim a little. I'm going to trim that extra piece off. And this is the other side of the belt. Same thing. This one doesn't have to be trimmed because I put that one first. You know, if you don't want to trim it, just tuck it to the side. There's an extra hole just for that. That I put on the frame there. That way, if you do want to need the extra length in the future to pull for some tension or anything, just keep it. Alright, now let's do the hot bed. The hot bed is pretty simple. Hardest thing is just going to be soldering the thermistor. Let's put this rod away. Hot bed. You're going to choose the better side, obviously. The side that looks better. And from here, from the top view, what we're going to do, we want to go probably, I think it was 1.5 inches. I'm going to mark this corner with a piece of tape. Alright, so we're going to mark this corner with this tape here. So we are going to go 1.5 inches down and 1.5 inches to the left. So that way, if you could imagine this on the bottom, it'll look something like this. You know what? This exceeds that. We'll go 1/2 inch. And 1.5 inches on the top. So, let's see. That looks about right there. You know what? 1.25 inches. We'll do 1.25 inches from the front of the plate to the start of this heating pad, and about a 1/2 inch from the right side of the plate to the start of that pad. So it looks something like that. But it really doesn't matter. You don't have to be exact. I just wanted to give you something to follow. So this actually goes like this. I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to eyeball it actually. About right there. Let me move this back so you guys can see. It'll actually be like this. Just like that. Like that. Yep. So I am going to pause the video, get my soldering thing ready, heat it up, and solder the thermistor on. And this is what we have. Just the connection there. The polarities don't really matter. If you don't have heat shrink, you can just use electrical tape. So what we're going to do now is peel off this sticker here. It is a special adhesive that they put on here that will withstand the heat. So I'm just going to place it basically right in the middle, just like that. And we're going to put it down. About a 1/2 inch. I'm just going to eyeball it, and about 1.5 inches from the top there. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want to press down too much on the thermistor, just kind of around the thermistor, the wires and the thermistor itself, just like that. That's it for our heating pad. Just like that. Simple. So it will go like this. Right on top of there. It's still hot. Put it away before I burn myself. Alright. Now let's put the bed on. Should we put the bed on now? Yeah. So what we're going to need for this is, these are 832 screws by 2.5 inch long, and you're going to need there's 4 of them, 1 for each hole, and you're going to need the 440 lock nuts. 832 lock nuts. So I'm just gathering it up here. I need one more, and we're good. These the last 4 lock nuts actually. So what we're going to do is just place this on like that. I would like this over here. First thing we're going to do is put the screws in and the wheel nut. Just back here so you guys can see. The wheel nut basically just goes into the spring like this. You know what I was thinking? I was actually thinking about putting another wheel nut down here. So there's some cushion between the bed and the spring. So I'm just going to screw it in. And we're probably going to leave about that much. I will screw it in about that much. About a 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch past the spring. Put that in like that. Let's do all 4 of them. Now I'm just going to press this down and put in the lock nuts just to start it off, just like that. So once you get it locked down, I like to pull it up and then just kind of screw the spring all the way down. Lift the screw up and screw the spring all the way down so it reaches the bed, the frame of the bed. Same thing on the other side. And we are going to use our needle nose to tighten everything down. Do this one first. Fully adjust it later. I'm just gonna leave it at its highest point for now, because we could always bring it down when we calibrate it. There we go. For this wire, I think we're just gonna go like this. Yep. Alright, we'll just leave this wire here for now. Alright, now let's just run these two wires. The wire for the Y motor and the switch for the Y axis there. It's going to be, I'll show you which hole to run it through. Running it through this hole here, the far right one on the Y gantry. We're going to need a hose connector. I'm just going to push it through the wires through it like this. I should have done these four first actually. Missing a yellow one. And the hole is tacked, so you could just screw this hose connector in. And the length of the hose for this one is going to be 13 inches. So let's measure 13 inches. It doesn't have to be exactly 13 inches. 13 inches is about right there. Cut it, and that's for the hose for our Y. Let's run this wire through. And we're here. Just press this hose into the hose connector. And we're going to need another hose connector. Put it this way. All four wires in. And this will screw directly to the motherboard also. Which I should just do right now. It's going to be to the hole that is farthest to the right when the back is facing towards you, which I'll show you. And it is also tapped, so you could just screw it in. Good. For this wire here, it's going to be like this, if you can see. For this wire, for the mister and the hothead, we could take off a little bit of this, so that way we have wires. Enough wire to go through there. Take off about maybe 1, 2, 3 inches of the heat shrink. 3.5. And with our hose, you're gonna cut probably maybe a half inch of hose, and it's basically just gonna go almost like a sleeve for this heat shrink, so it could stick to the or connect to the hose connector. It's pretty tight. That should be good. And the hose connector for the hotbed is the additional one that's in the Ziploc bag for the in the transformer box. And we basically just connect it like this. Put this through, connect it like that. There you go. This connects to the second hole, which is this. I'm going to tighten down the gantry now. I dropped the screw back there, so I'm going to have to get a new one to replace it, but I'll get that later. I'm going to tighten down this gantry. I did the two in front, but not the ones in the back for both the X and the Z gantry. This one. This one. This one. There we go. Let's do the hose for the hothead. The hose for the hothead for these wires here is going to be 14 inches. So let's do 14 inches. Don't have to be exact. We're going to run these wires through here, the hose again. Run that through. Press this down to the hose connector. And let's do the wire for the filament feed, which is 22 inches. Inches. There we go. And one side will connect to the extruder housing, this thing here. The other side will connect to the hothead. This will connect. Let's put the board in here for now. This will run down here. Move aside so you guys can see. Down this hose connector. Down the hole directly below it. Vertical to it. Connect it to the tube. There we go. Perfect. This is going to be for our let's just say thermistor and resistor here. Let me just see. Where are the pins for it? This is the Mr. Yellow and white. Which yellow is it? It is this yellow. So this is for the Mr. And this is for the hothead. Yep. Hothead. Or resistor.